Hi everyone, this is Professor E. In this lecture, we are going to continue with computing essentials and we will talk about chapter 2. So chapter 2, as you can see, is about the internet, the web, and the electronic commerce. So we talked in chapter 1 about the basics of computer, like the different components of the computer or the information systems, and the different types of computers and everything related to the information system. In this chapter, we'll be talking about the internet, how it was invented, and also the different impacts of the internet, and then also uh, commerce. Okay, the internet is nothing but a network of networks. It's an interconnected mesh of computers and data lines all together worldwide. It connects millions of people and organizations all over the world. That's what the internet is. So internet basically it's connecting basically millions of people and organizations. The foundation of the digital revolution, how did it happen? So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about the web and also how to be effective and efficient when using these tools. Now, there are different stages that the internet went through. First one is Web 1.0. So basically, that's the first generation, linking existing information focus. So most of it's just like text-based. And then it was only for basic things like searching programs. And then for just looking for basic information, there was no complication. Now, Web 2.0, now we start, it became more dynamic. So here we see the social media, integration. So that's what we call Web 2.0. For Web 3.0, it becomes more personalized and customized. So now you can send information, particularly to certain people. You get enough information to customize your message instead of like having mass email, marketing, organization. They send mass email to all users. Now they become more specific. They can customize and personalize the message. Now for Web 4.0, it's like another higher level. That's when you integrate the mobile web, okay? So it includes information from mobile devices. Now we're going to look at the different uses of the internet. Like most people, they use the internet for searching purposes, majority of them. But many other people, they use it for different reasons. People, they use it for shopping. Especially now, it becomes more and more common for people to shop now online because it's less expensive, it's more convenient, and then you get to choose. And then you can get whatever you want from anywhere in the world, and it's become sometimes it takes only like a day or two. So they use it for shopping, definitely communicating. We use internet to communicate with each other, and also for education. Many people they take classes online because it's more convenient, especially if they work full time, they have other responsibilities, have children, for example. So it's more convenient for them to take classes online than going to campus. And of course, many people, they use it for online entertainment, like watch movies or to play games. So it becomes more common now. So this is an example of the, online entertainment that people, use. Internet Access Provider, ISP. So this is a common way to access the internet, provide a path to access the, and so these internet service provider allow us to access to the internet. So before, it was, they used digital subscriber line or DSL. DSL, cable or wireless connection. Now, most common providers are like, for example, Verizon, Comcast, Sprint. You should be familiar with this, and AT&T. So these basically allow us to have access to the internet. Browsers are programs that provide access to web resources. For example, Google Chrome, Explorer, and all this, Safari. All of these are browsers that make sense. Mozilla Firefox, there's much more that allow us to have access to web resources. And there's uniform resource locator. So basically that's help us with the address of resources. Every website should have a should have an address, specific address that allow you to access it through the web. And every address is made of protocol. That's the HTTPS part. And there is the rest, which is the domain name that starts with www. So this is the most frequently domain that you should be familiar with. .com definitely is the most, but that's for commercial. And it is for educational, edu, and government, .gov, and then for military, then for network and organization, usually it ends with org. So of course, the website is made possible thanks to programs like HTML, CSS, so all of these JavaScripts. So the combination of all these programs allow us to have and enjoy our experience in using the web. So as I mentioned, a lot of programs just like JavaScript, PHP, HTML, CSS, all of these, they work together to make our interaction with the web more, more convenient. Web utilities, all of these are components that help us when we interact with the internet. Filters, file transfer utilities, internet security suite to make sure that our information out there are secure. Some of them are free, others you have to pay for them. And this is the communication tools for social networking, for email, for messaging. And then finally, social networking. Should be familiar with this. So basically connects people and organizations that share the common interests or activity. These are examples: podcast, wiki, messaging, email. Okay, and this is the program that prevents harmful things from happening, like spam, viruses, and so on. So this is some of the examples of the search services or search engine that you can use. Now let's talk about electronic commerce. So as we mentioned, a lot of people, they use the internet not only for searching, not only for communicating, but for shopping and for business. So that's why we have different types of relationship here. We have business to consumer. That's the most common, business to consumer. So for example, when you go and buy something from a website, from Amazon, for example, or from any other website. So this is a business to consumer, B2C. Sometimes you may have consumer to consumer. Like for example, like maybe eBay, that people are interacting with each other. So sometimes like consumers buying from another consumer, C2C. And also we have business to business. Like for example, Amazon and people who have their own, store, online store. So that's business to business, B2B. Okay. So we talked about cloud computing. We said that there is a shift of computing activities from users' computer to computers and the internet. So cloud computing allows users and also especially companies from taking advantage of all the IT infrastructure without spending money to set up the network, to maintain the infrastructure. So they just take full advantage. They basically rent this infrastructure from companies that specialize in this kind of equipment, like Amazon, for example. So a lot of companies they use them or they take full advantage of them. So they just pay for whatever they use. Okay. So cloud computing basically frees end users from owning. You don't have to own anything. You just, whenever you need it, you can use it and pay for whatever you used. So you don't have to maintain it, you don't have to upgrade it, you don't have to update the equipment because it costs a lot of money. So this is more basically efficient. Okay. We talked about Internet of Things. We said that everything that we interact with almost is internet-based, whether it's something that we have at home or our car, our watch, it's internet-based, our phone, everything we have is based on internet. And then look, the careers in IT, we talked about this. So there are a lot of areas that you can specialize in. I hope this lecture, you can find it useful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.